무서워.
전화가 와 있어요. 뭔가 급한 일인 것 같았어요. 글쎄요.
여보세요? 아, 소연이구나. 왜 그래, 침착해. 뭐? 감독님이 쓰러진다고? 그런데 병원은? 금방 갈게. 이 신발도 오래 신기는 했지. 가해가 됐나? 대체 뭐냐 이 녀석. 사람을 우습게 보는구만. 피할 생각도 안 해. 늑대를 맞은 녀석. 그냥 생명의 지혜가 같다든가 그런 게 아닐 것 같아. 최근에 그런 게 있었다면서? 정말 시험이 그죠? 지금은 그런 게 문제가 아니잖아.
Oh yeah, and like I said, yeah, there's lots of white snow, and you'll even get in some places where there's high wind, you'll get snow drifts. Even on a nice sunny day, you'll be driving along on a nice plowed road, and you come around a bend in the road, and there's a 6-foot snow drift across the road first thing in the morning. It's all right. The wind's been blowing the snow across the road, right? Yeah, you know, usually there's some kind of path halfway cut through it, runs throughout the night, kind of going through.
I mean, if it's just snow, it's kind of hard to drive that much, right?
It's like,
So when it's compact and everything, it's gonna be like pretty hard.
exactly, yeah.
Hard.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's actually funny because like come like late winter, early spring, February, March, you start to notice like the trucks. Not even that, it's just you know, you start to notice that the trucks have bent bumpers. Yeah, if you try to buy a bumper and like, you know, the snow's melted in late April, May, it's like a waiting list.
Yeah, that would be rough on the body, but I can imagine. Yeah, once that snow's like packed down, I imagine it would be like one of the workshops going through like, well, it's incoming, spring in here, and I think like ask us to like fix the beds.
I got a friend actually, Kyle, he's got their 3 bumpers in the last year.
actually going to ask as well about, like, you mentioned how you're going to stay inside as well. Is it like great territory? Is Canada, like, between US and Canada, is it a long way to like freeze?
I mean, it depends on right? So everything is moving cleared electronically now. So when you get your shipping documents, you send them off to the border, and a broker will that will already the shipper will assign the broker or the customer. So you're off to whatever broker is assigned, and they have everything pre-cleared and ready for you when you hit the border. Most of the time. Sometimes it's not, and then you end up having to go inside and sit in a waiting room for 2 or 3 hours while they, figure out what's wrong with your paperwork and what's wrong with your load. But for the most part, it's pretty easy. I remember going with my dad when I was a kid, and like we'd be sitting 2 hours at the border waiting to get across, and then once you got across, then you had to go visit the broker because there's no pre-clearing. Then you're 2 or 3 hours waiting for that. It was, it was pretty bad. Yeah, some were quicker than others, especially if it was like a dedicated run. Like we had coils from, I want to say, Puritan, West Virginia, back to Hamilton, and like a steady load. And our company was like had a history of pulling them, so I guess the border doing them pretty quick, right? It's even with the pre-clearing, it can still be difficult if you're doing something you don't normally do. And you get to the border, they kind of ask, "What are you doing here?" They know everywhere you've crossed, everything you've done. If you've given a bit of attitude to them one time, it's all there in their computer, right? Yeah, so, it helps to be very, very polite and amicable with them. But there's been times, like I remember one time I did a load west into Alberta, and then I crossed in southern Alberta into Montana, and I got there and they're like, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, "Oh, well, what are you doing out here? You never cross here." I'm like, "You know that, right?" But yeah, it's something they're very aware of. Like it got to the point too, which I probably shouldn't say this. I'm sure some customs officer is going to get in trouble. But there was one customs officer that wouldn't even open the window for me when I got to the booth, just waved me on through. Because he knew I was getting in trouble. Freight we hauled, so they just say freight. So it's you end up developing a relationship with a lot of these guys, right? So it honestly the last as long as I've been doing it, it's been a piece of cake. They don't change it. They like the guys like, oh yeah.
뭐야 이 소리?
You get to know them, you can see them in the window when you're coming up to the lineup, right? So there's not a lot of trucks in line or anything. And I think I know that guy. You pull up to that booth, and then sure enough, you get up there.
It's a trucker, he knows his limits. He knows his limits, I like it.
Oh, we get a great bill, but that's it. I'm not used to it. I'm running my golden store from my home. I don't know where this stops.
No, you're it's pretty close. Yeah, I'm a bit scared as well, but absolutely.
So, let's say just back to July, right? When you had to sit there for hours and wait for the papers to be clear, is that time because you're supposed to not pay miles?
There's a lot of guys that are paid by hour, but it's mostly rate or regional rate. It's typically on rate that is kind of more hands-on. So like guys that deliver gasoline and stuff, they gotta put the hose out, they gotta sit there while it's loading up. Like those guys get paid by the hour, right? I was pulling the old steel grade tanker, which was like long distances, and I was doing it for an hour, right? So everything was actually either percentage based, like a percentage of the gross payment, or it was mileage based. But the mileage tickets were enough that when you did have to sit at the border, when you did have to sit, the load and unload wasn't too bad. But sometimes it will kind of shrug it off like it's part of the job, but it is kind of a headache and a pain. But yeah, a lot of that is just completely unpaid. If you're a driver making mileage rate of like 50 or 55 cents a mile, and you get to the border and your computers are down or your load isn't cleared, you're sitting there for 4 hours and you're not getting paid, it hurt. And that's why a lot of these guys are so angry.
Use these hours to do miles.
You're not getting, that's another thing, like, there really should be a whole restructuring of the industry because like, when you think about it, when you're paying someone by the mile, it kind of encourages them to drive faster and drive more aggressively, right? Like, really, it should be, no, it really should be a different kind of pay structure, either a salary-based pay structure, so you guys get paid whether you're making the miles or not, or an hourly pay structure, right? But a lot of the companies, it's a very old way of doing things, it's mileage rate.
Also, I got like, say now, like, they remember everything about you when you're crossing over that. They might, you know, tell me why, you know, so if you haven't crossed the border between Canada and the US, they try to make it worried that if you go back, they're going to remember something about you. Like me. Yeah. No, okay. You know, to know me why, you're like, no, like, oh, that one time I was with that guy. It's always these stuff like that.
To go back on that subject, because like I would even have them comment on like my beer, like that, right? They'd be like, you gotta have a beer. Yeah, but they'd say like usually have a beer, but my picture on my ID, I don't
Sir, did you steal this truck? That's crazy. They're just suspicious of everything. I guess they have to be.
they're not suspicious necessarily. A lot of the time they're just asking these questions to sort of kind of see if they can catch you off guard and, you know, see if they can, if you are lying about something, make you sweat, right? I've even had them just ask the same question to me like 6 times in a row. Where are you going? You know, here. Where are you going? Oh, I'm going, this is the customer's name, this room. Where are you going? Well, the address is. They're trying to make me nervous, right? Because if I'm hiding something, if I've got, you know, a truckload of drugs or something like that, you know, no, they're on to me. They ask me the same question 6 times in a row. Yeah. But if you know, if you're hauling your load of steel, like you said you were, then you got nothing to worry about. You say the question 6 times, and eventually, like, why are you asking me the same question over and over? And the guy goes, oh, no, these your paperwork back.
That's what you're doing, right? It's like, put them together. Anyway, that's good. Is it? It's kind of not like that. It's not necessarily ask if it's better. Or if you would recommend to go try to ride in Canada. Thoughts there in this area, where to start.
I think it would be a very rewarding career, especially, you know, I got some friends who play social anxiety and stuff like that, and they go to it's a little slower and bigger office environments or whatever, right? And a guy like that, I like 100% like go in the truck, you know, over your shoulder, you know, you got the what's going on all the time, and give you instructions and stuff, but, you know, it's, you can really regulate your own time and do things at your own time, and as long as you get the job done, nobody really bothers you, right? So it can definitely be, okay. It can definitely be, and even outside of that, even like for anyone, right? It can be a rewarding career. There's a real, you know, there's a sense of a job well done being able to sprint load or unload. It has its drawbacks, especially, you know, if you've got a family and young kids and stuff like that. It sucks, you know, having to leave for work on Sunday morning, you know, getting back from Friday night, and then Sunday morning you're doing it all over again, right? A guy like me, I was single, you know, I had a girlfriend, but, you know, we didn't get anything like that, and she was a nurse at the time, so she was working tons of hours, so it was great for us, you know, it still sucked leaving, and still, you know, we'd rather be spending time with her, hanging out, right? But, you know, the things I've gotten to see in my career, the people I've met, the culture I've learned about, the subcultures in the U.S. and stuff like that, like I wouldn't trade it for the world. I had a blast doing it, and I wouldn't change a thing if I could go back in time, except maybe get out just a little bit early, because I did get my working years in, and I would say probably the last 2 years, especially maybe because of, you know, everything going on with the pandemic and stuff like that, it definitely was a little less fun. You know, eating peanut butter sandwiches in the back of the truck was, you know,
like you said, getting to see so many different places, meeting different people, everything like that. So it's must be really, really cool. And did you kind of have any favourite spots that you always kind of frequent going forward to that? Like, oh yeah, definitely need to go back here to go get that good steak or this good food or, you know, whatever it is. Was there like places for you?
there's a few of them, and depending on the route, I can name off 100 places, you know, you tell me the road, I can tell you a good place to eat. North Baltimore, Ohio, there's a big Petro there, and it used to be a big steel hauler hangout. All the guys on their way up from the steel mills in southern Ohio, like Cincinnati, Kentucky, and stuff like that. And at nighttime, it was just like a light show of all the fancy Peterbilts and Kempers lit up in the parking lot, right? Oh yeah, really nice. And yeah, that was a good one. Highway 80, of course, is always a fun stop. The world's largest
truck stop even have their own dentist. And
Yeah, they got dentists there, yeah.
That's why. That's so cool.
Yeah, and and some places you go, and there's different ways to go to certain places. There's some places I went to that were just a gas station, but the parking lot was nice and big, and you didn't have to worry about getting hit in the middle of the night, right? Other places they have a good restaurant, or maybe just clean washrooms. There's lots of reasons to go to certain truck stops and avoid other truck stops like the plague, right? Yeah, definitely. I think every truck driver has his kind of preferred stops, right? Like I remember running with a friend of my dad's when I was younger. He actually taught me how to drive when I first got my license. We were running together somewhere. I said, all right, hey, we're gonna stop tonight. And he said this place. I said, oh, I hate that place. He goes, yeah, but they got a cheap breakfast. I'm like, all right, that was his thing. He wanted cheap breakfast, right? I didn't want my hubby to fall off, but he didn't care.
I understand. I mean, yeah, I guess you're not. What about the U.S. truckers? So like, how are they?
Like compared to Canadian truck drivers.
I mean, like the community of truck drivers in general. Like, are the guys like more? I mean, probably asking for the guys that are quite a long years in the business already. Like OG truckers. Are they like more friendly, or is everyone like rather be alone?
So the real, this is the thing, and truck driving is its own culture, right? I think you kind of experience that, especially in Louisville, right? And there's a lot of guys that will call themselves old school truck drivers because, now they're in their 40s and their 50s, and they think just because they've been in the industry long enough that now they're old school. And it's like, no, you're not old school. Well, it's like you are. I don't even think I'm quite old school. I'm, a lot of guys will probably call me a little sissy or something like that. But I definitely, I learned from guys that were old school. I'll say that, right? So I just wasn't, it's like 20 plus years in the business, or it's about the way they were done, the way they were done back in the 80s and early 90s. You respect truck drivers, and not giving them a run when you're passing, helping the guy out if he's broken down. If a guy you see a guy in a steel mill and he's doing something stupid, you go over, you try to teach him, right? The new school truck drivers, they want to take a photo so they can post on Facebook, right? And they'll say, oh, look, I'm old school. This guy doesn't know what he's doing. No, the real old school guy shuts his mouth, puts his phone down, and goes over, right? And, thank goodness I had real old school guys when I was coming through. That was the kind of people I had that helped me learn. If I was to start driving today, hell, I'd probably be all over Facebook. Mistakes. But, that's how you learn is making mistakes, right? And if no one's going to kind of, take you under their wing and show you the right way, then, you're never going to learn proper, right? I think it's not that important. A lot of guys, especially the Facebook super truckers, we call them, the guys that, they do all their driving from, behind their computer screen. They want to call themselves old school and buy that Peterbilt and say, I'm old school, not a Peterbilt, my gear shifter fits up here, but they're not. They're old school. Oh, definitely. Yeah, absolutely right. Like a guy wearing, palm shoes and, the flat brim, whatever, and he's hot, but he can't actually ride a skateboard. That's kind of me.
I like to hear the general question. Is it just joint kind of consulting, isn't it? And then coffee sauce, like being consultant. Is it actually? Hey, Dad.
Nobody saw that lane change I just made. That was super cool, right? That's worse.
No, I didn't.
Super trucker. I forgot my dad. Okay.
No, Mark is actually like part of community manager. You might see him more frequently in the streams and more activities with the community as well. But he also, like, thanks to his like 14 years of experiences in trucking, kind of saw value in his experiences in terms of like consulting for us on the US trucking, like the things, like content we create for the games, because like for us, mostly located, based in Prague, Europe. I mean, for us it's quite hard sometimes to know or even know where to look for the details when it comes to how, for example, a cargo should be strapped to a trailer, or how the dip of like I don't know, maybe sand line should look like, or which highway in this particular area in this state is used by truckers the most, general, yeah.
So my dad was a truck driver since before I was born, and I remember the first game I ever got was from another company. It was kind of a goofy game where you had to race your destination against other trucks and all that. And the first real trucking game I got was actually one SCS software made was 18 Wheels of Steel Across America. That was my introductory to kind of like the first real trucking game, and I had a blast with it. I think I would have been like 12 years old when that came out, and I played so many hours in that game, then pedal on the metal when it came out, and then my computer couldn't run the new games after that, so I took a hiatus from it. But it was actually funny though. When I went to get my driver's license, I remember my first lesson going back in the trailer end. You have to back on a 90-degree into a spot. And they asked me, they said, "Oh, when you get your license?" I said, "Oh, it's not for like 2 months." And they said, "Why did they schedule it so far after your last lesson?" I'm like, "It's not my last lesson, it's my first lesson." And the guy's like, "Ha ha ha, good joke. When's your test actually?" I'm like, "No, I'm serious." He's like, "How do you already know how to back on a trailer?" I'm like, "Okay." He's like,
That's nice. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah. I mean, we don't really play other games to play all the time, right? So, but your story and all the other stories we are getting today is like it actually can really help you to get better knowledge about how big you are in the trailer, when to start turning the wheel. I mean, it doesn't really work on me yet, right? Because I still drive very bad in street, but yeah, people can actually like learn a thing or two.
yeah, when I was at the private school, I was there for 6 months, and I actually had to get all the students that were playing American Truck Simulator, and Euro Truck Simulator, and you could tell, like right away, they all kind of had an idea what they were doing. As far as like being able to move the truck around the corner, that you would go wide and go around the curve instead of trying to go over the curve, right? I had one student, Chriselle, he right away backing in, like he did it in one shot the first time, right? And I asked him, I said, "Are you playing video games?" He goes, "Oh yeah, kind of shy, right?" He said that he plays video games in the US and Canada, and play American Trucks. And I said, "Oh, no way, right?" And sure enough, like people that have played the game definitely had like a little bit of a head start when it came to handling the truck, handling the trailer, and getting their license. Yeah, that's great.
Awesome. Yeah, we have actually quite a few people in the chat that are kind of backing up their subjects of playing a bit of ATS does give you a bit of driving lesson, a bit of main focus is the main thing. It teaches how the trailer is going to react to your inputs, is what he says. And I think he actually had somebody as well saying, Truck Simulator has kind of inspired me to get my CPL and to start learning as well. And I've heard quite a few stories like this before, and it's fantastic that people are getting inspired to get on the road in real life, and many have gone on to do that as well, which is really, really cool. So I want to appreciate all of you.
No one asks if your bird hides your second brain for driving talent.
My beard hides my second brain for my driving talents. I don't know. I think it's
What a question, right?
I think it's in my blood because, like I said, my dad was a truck driver before I started, and I just had a knack for it. Like I remember even when I was a kid, like directions, for example, right? Like I just had a natural kind of sense for it. Like my mom would get lost and would go, when the account was over, I'd be like, "Well, I just gotta go here, here, and here." And she's like, 7 years old. How do you know all that, right? I guess I was just so hooked to it. My whole spot a truck, so I always knew where I was, right?
That's cool. That's so cool. Thanks. So it was just it's really, really cool to hear. Quite a few people here, saying how like, been playing ATS for a while. And it's always helped me as well. And it's also don't worry about it. Playing changes like that all the time in Kentucky. You're only a little corner, so it's a novel thing. So that's good stuff. Thank you everybody so much for your nice comments and everything. And so far, it's definitely nice to argue as well. It's great to have him in the studio. So like I said, we'll have him for some more in the future as well. So get used to bring a lot of good experience and good times to the studio as well, which we're really excited for as well. Yeah, look at that, yeah. I'm sure I'll be flipping stuff.
Minutes back, I wanted to ask a question when you were talking about the situation from waiting
some buffer. Like,
Yeah, well, usually the way it all starts, like for us, like when we were hauling steel, the majority of my career was hauling steel. My dispatcher was great, and I get my load information. She'd say, when do you want to deliver? So it was kind of up to me to decide how much time I needed to get where I was going, and I would always kind of give myself a little bit extra time to get there, right? I worked for other companies where dispatchers weren't so accommodating, I guess would be the correct word. So it'd be like, okay, this is your pickup, this is your delivery, right? And I'd look at it and say, like, you're asking me to drive, 670 miles in 11 hours, including crossing the border and driving across the on rush hour traffic, and it happened. I'll do my best. I'm telling you right now, it ain't gonna happen. And then, she calls me the next day, and where are you? Your appointment delivers at 11 p.m. At 11 a.m. Sorry, right? And I'm at 9 a.m. I'm still 4 hours away, and they lose their mind, right? You're not gonna make it. It's like, well, I don't know what to tell you. They do, but they always think that we can somehow pull miracles. And I always my saying to them is, well, I can't strap any rocket engines to the back of the truck to get there any faster. I still got to deal with DOT regulations. I still got to deal with traffic. I still got to deal with the border. And they got speed limits. You can't be driving around, in a 85 miles an hour, 5 mile an hour zone, right? So, yeah, most people, I would say, in the industry are pretty aware of it, and dispatchers that aren't aware of it, they don't last long because, the ownership knows, right? They know how long it takes to get somewhere, and if there's an issue where a driver is always late, all they do is look at the,
red signal.
oh, I ended up by pulling wrong. Right.
Yeah, I can't tell you right, so it doesn't count. It's just that you didn't do it. That's it.
Yeah, that's programming on that one. But, dispatcher that's not good with the time management on their end definitely won't last too long in the industry. At least on that position, they might end up as a safety compliance coordinator, which is a step down if you ask me. But,
세우시나요?
Is it like, in general, would you say that relationship between our drivers and dispatchers is usually good, or
it can be tense. A lot of dispatchers are good people when they're just, they pay me enough, maybe a little more than they can chew, or maybe someone else along the line, someone in sales has taken a bigger bite than they should have. So they're trying to pick up the slack and get along as best they can, right? And I will say there's very few dispatchers that are inherently bad. They're usually, trying their best, right? Most of the time, they're pretty understanding. They say to you, can you do that 670 miles in 11 hours? And you'll say, I'll do my best. And they'll say, you do your best. And when you're late, they're like, okay, you know what? Thanks for trying, right? You get the odd dispatcher that says, we're really relying on you to get there in time, and this doesn't look good for you, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, whatever, Personally, I don't last long at a company like that, just because, like, I know what I can do. I know what can be done legally, that if you're going to constantly push me to break the law, and I ain't going to stick around,
they are not the ones who blame us? Right now, it's always the truck driver who is the driver and gets the
especially with me, like when I own my own truck, unless I'm like work, okay, I get a license and I get a bad ticket and I can't drive anymore or something, right? I can't just walk away and go do something else. I still got a truck payment. I got to worry about making that truck payment or trying to sell the truck for more than what it's worth and all that, right? So for me, my driving record and my license is very important to maintain. So if I can't do it safely and legally, then I'm not going to stick around. I'm not going to hang out. Right?
Makes complete sense. I mean, that's your investment that you made, that's your time that you put in and everything like that. You don't want to put any of that on the line because it's a lot of hard work to get to, the kind of experience where you've got 14 years. I also believe it's a lot of work. It's a slightly different relationship between the truck drivers and dispatchers in the logistics company fleets, right? Because, is there usually the relationship between the dispatcher is supervisor or truck driver on the field there, because that they are their bosses, or
Generally,
if you are owner operator, you are a contractor for them, right?
yeah, so you're technically a contractor, but you still answer to the dispatcher is the first one. Some companies have like a driver relations department of their human resources department that'll deal with more of the if there's an issue between the truck driver and the dispatcher. A lot of smaller companies don't have that. A lot of the times the dispatcher might be the owner of the company. Yeah, so there's benefits to working for a smaller company, and there's also disadvantages, something like that, right? You get to fight with your dispatcher is the owner, and then all of a sudden you're not getting very good results anymore. they say what's your truck number? That's the way to do it. I was unit, 1721, and that's the end of it. They didn't know my number. Exactly, right? But you know what that said? Like, the management was pretty
But
good.
on the other hand, if they have like 3,000 truck drivers, then like for the dispatchers, it's hard to remember everyone's name, right? And trace them.
Actually, that was the issue at that company was they had, I think, 300 trucks, and they were trying to do everything with 3 dispatchers. Or maybe it was
Just 34 dispatchers.
it's generally saying that you should have a dispatcher for every, like, 20-25 trucks. So they were severely understaffed. But it was also their fault, right? So maybe
So we do like,
yeah,
like you said, in one person, then you don't need to talk with him for like 6 more hours, whatever.
we generally, like I was going to California, so generally I was in Toronto, they didn't hear from me for 3 days.
Oh yeah, okay.
That was right. So, maybe they could have got away with like 1 dispatcher for every 35-40 people. But the issues I encountered there were definitely the issues related to a dispatcher with pretty much on his plate. Yeah, it's great people.
It's too much on their shoulders.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, everyone's feeling the pressure at a company like that. Yeah, absolutely.
It's a high-stress environment for everyone. Like I said, like everyone's answering to someone, right? The dispatcher's offering it's answering to sales. The trucker is answering to dispatch as well as everyone else on the road, police, etc. Right? So everyone is kind of constantly in a high-stress environment, and the phone calls, can often become very unpleasant very quickly. And I think it's an advantage to learn how to, keep your cool in those situations. You definitely got to thick skin as a truck driver. You got to be able to, if you're someone in the chat right now thinking of becoming a truck driver, you can't take anything personally. If somebody calls you up and they start screaming at you, you got to let it slide right off because you don't know what kind of day that guy's had. Maybe the person you talk to right before was screaming at him.
But that kind of works for life in general.
That's it, right? That's not just trucking. That's been everywhere, right?
Absolutely. Well, it looks like you've just reached your destination. So time flies. Like this is time does flies. Yeah. This is so good to have someone I can ask all these questions about trucking. Like I believe it's gonna be also for the extremes as well. Like we can slowly discover what the corners of trucking industry is in Canada. And so I believe for you, Chen, are very informative as well. Right? Absolutely, yeah.
I just try not painting too unique a picture for anyone. Truck driver horror stories. These are like, very rare situations I'm talking about. This kind of, dispatcher calling up and screaming at you, right? It does happen, but it's very rare for the most part. Like I said, I did it for 14 years and I had a blast most days, most weeks. It was just fun trucking, you know what I mean? And, there might be some tight schedules and stuff like that, but you made it work. And like I said, when you got that little cell phone, right? What you did, how many miles you crossed, right? So it's definitely, even with its ups and downs, it's always you're always looking forward to that next one. You get home and you're home for a few days and you had a rough week and you're like, man, I can't wait to get off road again. So, don't let me dissuade it. If you're thinking about it, be tough. It's also extremely fun.
Those are some good ending words. I like that. Wise words from Mark there. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. And good job on the parking in else.
Yeah, we also dropped my thing.
Yeah, we did. We got to level 17.
Hey, look at that.
So we got ourselves your first skill point. Feel free to pick whichever role you want.
The owner operator need to save fuel economy. I think maybe we should check one of these. What do you think?
Yeah, why not? This time we can roll some, what is this? Corrosive substances?
Corrosive or flammable? What's under corrosive? Hydrochloric acid. I don't know what it says.
Missiles. Okay.
Yeah, well, that's for that one. Okay. Email too. What's this? Your special transport.
We're talking about him. It's that guy. It's from your favorite dispatcher. We love him. I hope so. But no, thank you again, Mark. Time has flown. It's been really really informative to kind of learn about your background. Also,
I almost had this feeling that it was so cool to chat about all this that maybe we should start kind of a podcast or whatever.
we should do that. That's an idea. It's like,
Chat, what do you think? Should we expand on Spotify?
should be like a bit of fun.
Put Joe Rogan down from his podcast role?
We need to think about creative name though, right? Like something with some cool title, some podcast name. Like yes, actually coming in. Video podcasts. Okay, yes. Interesting. Yes, like
Well, just not too insulting to us.
yeah. Chat can be ruthless.
Chat likes both the idea and also you, Mark, in the chat. So
좋을 게 뭐가
great.
있어.
Sounds good.
불편한데다 시험이
We'll figure it out. But no, yeah. Thank you both of you. Yeah, thank you both of you for your time. And Mark, it's great to have you up here on the stream for the first time. You made an absolutely great impression, and your driving was great as well. So I think you're gonna fit right in here. You know,
Thanks for
very
having
good.
me. I look forward to being here and being involved in some more streams.
Yes, sir. Absolutely, and of course, who knows what you'll get up to as well. You know, in SCS and helping us out with all sorts of things. We may see you on the road, we may see you in other places as well. So, very excited to have you here. Thank you for making the journey over to Prague to work with us, and we're looking forward to a future together with you as well. So, yeah.
이렇게 와줘서 고맙다. 정말 좋은 친구들을 뒀구나. 말씀을 제가 같지도 않아요. 이건 푸딩인데 맛 좀 보렴.
That's the emote we need, just the eyebrows. Alright, good stuff. Right, as you know, chat, at the end of the stream here on Twitch, we're going to find somebody to make take all of you wonderful people that have been supporting us and watching us for the stream today.
Maybe find someone
to raid.
We've been slacking the whole time.
I think he's there. Yeah, Darius, do you know of someone doing some American jump right now? We can have a quick look. If not, but
Yeah,
here we
I
go.
found someone. They're French, but it always seems fair after the raids. Okay.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. Passing it on. I like it. We'll make that happen. So make sure chat to join us for that raid. It'd be really cool if you came and supported one of our many community members who are streaming here on Twitch as well, doing a bit of American trucking. And of course, if you missed out on any part of this stream, then head over to our YouTube or here on Twitch. You'll have the VOD available for you to watch and do rewatch any part that you like. Get more beard goodness for your life. 24/7. That's it. You can watch along. So good stuff. So thank you everybody for being here. Again, Nimrod, Mark, and Benny, of course, as well behind the scenes as well. Thank you. Big shout out to Benny as well. All right, let's get that raid started again. Is there anything else you guys want to say before we disappear?
Not for me. You said it all.
You know? I'm sorry, stop doing that. I know. I'm terrible. Alright, chat, come join us as we raid TV. But until next time, hope you have yourselves a wonderful rest of your evening. We'll see you again soon on the road here with SCS Software. Take care, everybody.
What?
우동 해주면 먹을 거야?
응, 달걀도 넣어줘요.
그래, 알았어. 그리고 어묵도요. 없어.
Hey, everybody.
We are about to interview Alex, also known as London Lad. Okay, first question. Have you ever killed a man? No, I'm just joking. First question is